In this tutorial, we'll look at how to blur the background image in HTML and CSS. Okay, so I just have an empty HTML file for now, just an HTML boilerplate. I'm linking to my own style sheet here, which is also empty, so it's completely blank right now. So the first step is to include an image. So you can go to the Unsplash website and you can find an image. So we're gonna include this image and then we're gonna put another element on top of it actually. And that's actually the element that we're gonna blur. And with this solution, you're not gonna have some weird white edge or some blurry edge. And so this is gonna be a cleaner solution. So this is the image I found. I'm gonna add that here to the HTML, and actually we're going to use the CSS background image property. So I'll just create an empty div here. We can call that bg image. Now in there, I'm just going to create another, empty div, which is the one that we're actually going to blur, right? So then here I can say bg image. That's going to be background image URL. Just paste it right here. And typically, if you're going to create a background image, you're going to have some kind of standard setup, right? So usually you're going to have something like this, no repeat, because the browser will try to repeat the image. We want the background to cover, meaning we should see it in full. We don't want to have, if you have, for example, horizontal dimensions, or if it's like not a portrait photo, but some kind of horizontal photo, sometimes you're going to get white space at the bottom. We don't want that. So we can say this, and then also for responsiveness, we want it to be centered both horizontally and vertically. Now this element doesn't have any size because it has no content, right? This div is also empty. So it's going to be a background, but the image has no size. So we're not going to see anything. So we're going to make this 100% of its parent and also 100% in terms of height and width, both for height and width, right? So that means the body. So make sure the body is actually the appropriate size. And actually it's even better to just use the viewport height units, because the viewport is the visible area of the web page, right? So that does not include the address bars, just the white stuff here. We want this element to cover the entire area, right? So it's going to be 100% of the viewport height. Now for the width, it's a bit tricky because we could also do viewport width. The problem is sometimes you're going to have a scroll bar and then you get, that does not, this element or this unit does not take that into account. So you're going to get an overflow. So you're going to trigger a horizontal scroll bar, right? So typically people still use a percentage here. Let's see what we have if we do this. So now if I refresh, we can see the image. And the first problem is that we have some white border here. And this is because the browsers, they add some default styling to a lot of elements, including the body element. They actually add some padding to the body element. And typically we don't want that default styling. So people usually use a CSS reset. We can select all elements on the page. And we want to remove a lot of that default styling. So we're going to remove all the padding, all the margin, and typically people also set the box sizing property to border box. I have a separate video on this. You don't need to understand this right now. It's a very difficult one, but check out that video if you want to know more about that one. Okay, so when you do that, you can see we have a very nice background image and it's also responsive, right? So it scales up or down and it stays in the center when you make it smaller or bigger. Okay, so now we're going to have another element, this empty div, and that's going to be sitting on top of this. And that's the element that we're going to blur. Right, so we're going to say blur, and this element will sit on top of it. So we can use position absolute to take it out of the normal flow. And with position absolute, you can specify those offsets, right? So you can say it should sit 0 pixels from the left, 0 pixels from the top. Well, 0 pixels from the top of what exactly? So usually you want to have some kind of reference element. So we're going to make this the reference, right? So 0 pixels from the top of this element, right? So it's going to sit perfectly on top of it. And you can use Z index. Right, so we want this to sit on top. So the element with a higher Z index is going to sit on top. So we can give this a Z index of 1, let's say. And this is Z index of 5. So this will make sure that this one sits on top. For background images, you could actually also use -1 so that it will actually sit below everything else as well. So now the trick here is to give this a background color and then to blur it. So we can say background color and it should be a little bit see-through, right? Because we still want to see the image. So here you can use, let's say a white color with something like 0.5 opacity, right? If you do this and refresh, let's see, we don't see it yet. So that's because we haven't given this a height and width yet. So this should be 100% for both height and width of its parent, right? So then we have this. And now the trick is to use backdrop filter with blur, and I think something like 13 pixels can look pretty good, right? So now you can see we have a blurred background. Now maybe it's a little bit too blurred, so we can make it like 8 pixels, something like that. So I think this is already looking pretty cool. And you can play around with the color. Maybe some kind of blue color usually also can look pretty cool. Gives it a bit of a cooler look. Maybe something like this, right? So you can play around with that. Maybe a little bit lighter, right? So you get a certain type of look, and you can play around with that and see what you like best, right? So that's how you can blur a background image, and you don't have that weird white edge, right? So this is a cleaner solution. Now, sometimes you want to have some content on top of it. So let's also do that. So what we could do is we could simply, well, let's actually do it in a different element. We could simply have content, right? Maybe you have some kind of heading. We'll say heading, welcome, and let's see. So we're gonna have content, heading. Let's see what we have. And actually it will be positioned after it. So we don't want that, it should sit on top, right? So we're gonna say position absolute. And here we can use 50% from the top. Well, the top of what exactly? So now we're gonna say the body. So we can select the body. We can make that the reference element, you could say. It's gonna say 0 pixels from the top of the body and 0 pixels from the left. Okay, now this is a bit tricky always because it takes 50% and then it puts the element there. But we actually want the middle of this element to coincide with the middle of the page, both horizontally and vertically. So the trick here is to put it back a little bit. You can use transform for that. We can move elements, we can rotate elements, we can skew elements. Well, you can move elements with translate. And the trick here is to use negative 50% because this percentage refers to its own size. So then it will be perfectly in the center. Okay, now maybe we don't like the font. So we could quickly go to Google Fonts. And actually I already opened the tab. So maybe you can find some nice and include that. Let's see, just include that here in the head. I'm gonna paste it. I'm gonna format it, Shift Alt F. It will automatically format everything. And then we can use this, well, font family. See, refresh. All right, so now we have this font. It should be a little bit bigger. And if we want to make it responsive, we can actually make it relative to the viewport width. So we could say something like 7% of the viewport width, right? So then if we make it smaller, it will be smaller on like mobile and stuff, right? So I think that looks pretty cool. And you can add more stuff. You can add text here, a button, you know, sign up form. You can also give it some padding and actually add like a background color here as well, maybe a bit darker. So something like black with maybe 20% opacity, right? Something like that. You're going to add some padding. Let's say 25 pixels on top and 35 pixels on the left and right side, and give it some border radius. Right, so now it's starting to really come together, and yeah, you can play around with the opacities here and really fine tune it to get exactly what you want.
By the way, if this was helpful, I'd really appreciate it if you could like and subscribe. Also, check out my courses on CSS and JavaScript if you want to take those skills to an advanced level. Because in there, we will build some beautiful real-world projects from scratch so you can see how everything fits together and really master CSS or JavaScript. And I will also release other courses soon like React and Node.js. So if you want to be notified, then make sure you are subscribed to the email newsletter. You can find the link in the description. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you soon.